Hi everyone, I'm Rob Butterfield, the owner of the Butterfield Agency, where I help people solve Medicare and life insurance problems. Today in the video, I'm going to walk you through different election periods and enrollment periods for Medicare Advantage plans and prescription drug plans. We're going to cover the annual election period, open enrollment period, special enrollment periods, and the initial enrollment period. So let's get started. The annual election period, or AEP, is a time each year when you can make changes to your Medicare Advantage or prescription drug plan. This period runs from October 15th through December 7th. And during the annual election period, or sometimes they call it AEP, you can enroll in a new plan, you can switch plans, or you can drop your current plan. It's a great time to review your coverage and make sure it still meets your needs and that you know about any changes coming in the plan for the following year. Any changes that you make during that election period using that enrollment period will go into place January 1 the following year. To illustrate that, I've got a diagram that I kind of put together on it that goes over these elections periods. So the election period that I was just talking about is this election period here. It is from October 15th through December 7th, and anything that happens during that period will take place January 1st. The next enrollment period that I want to talk to you about is the open enrollment period. The open enrollment period, or OEP, allows you to make a one-time change to your Medicare Advantage plan. This period is from January 1st to March 31st, and you can switch to another Medicare Advantage plan or return to original Medicare. However, you can't switch from original Medicare to a Medicare Advantage plan during this time. And in this diagram, that period is right here. Using this example, it's January 2024 all the way until the last day of March 2024. Any applications that you do during this period will take place the first of the month following when you do them. So if you were to make a change using the OEP in January, then that change would go into effect February 1st, and so on and so forth. The first period that people usually deal with is called the initial enrollment period. Now, the initial enrollment period is your first chance to enroll in Medicare. It lasts 7 months, and it goes 3 months before the month you turn 65 and 3 months after. And during this time, you can enroll in Medicare Advantage or a prescription drug plan for the first time. In this diagram, that's this green bar here, and the example birthday would be in October. And so they have the month of October, 3 months before, and 3 months after. Any changes made 3 months before won't take place until the first of the month following 3 months before, whenever they did it. And then any changes made after that would be the first of the month following when they made those changes. If they made it all the way to here and didn't make the change, they'd have to wait until the annual election period at that time and possibly be subject to some penalties. But that's for another video. So those are the three, I guess, main election periods, if you will. And this information that's on this is meant to kind of give you a guide to look at, give you something visual to see. The next set of election periods are called special enrollment periods. And basically, special enrollment periods are times outside of these times, or the usual enrollment periods, where you can make changes to your Medicare coverage due to certain life events. And so those life events can be all kinds of different things. If we go to, I'll put this link here down below the video, but if we go to Medicare.gov's website that talks about special enrollment, it'll tell you about the different life events, things like moving to a new address, losing current coverage, qualifying for extra help, qualifying for Medicaid, losing your qualifications for Medicaid. There's even situations where if there's a disaster in your area, there's FEMA election periods. And so these are really on a per case basis. I'll put the link in the website so you can look at them. But just know that there are times outside of the usual election periods that you can still make changes. So let's recap what we've covered today in the video. We've talked about the annual election period. That one gets a ton of advertising. A lot of people probably know about it every year from October 15th through December 7th. We talked about the open enrollment period. That's from the 1st of January until the last day of March every year. And it's designed so if you're on a Medicare Advantage plan or made a change to a Medicare Advantage plan, or a change was made to your Medicare Advantage plan on the plan that you were on that you weren't aware of or that you thought wouldn't bother you, or your circumstances have changed, you can have a one-time change during the first 3 months of the year. It is a one-time change. So if you make that change, you're in that plan for the rest of the year, unless you have a special election period. And we talked about special election periods or enrollment periods. Those are due to life changes or coverage changes that are usually beyond your control, or outside of, you move to an area that has different plans, those types of things. And then we also talked about the initial enrollment period, which is the time when you first enroll into Medicare, where you have 3 months before, the month of, and 3 months after to make your selections. If you have any questions, this stuff can be kind of complicated. So if you have any questions or need any information, please feel free to reach out. You can get me on my cell. My cell phone number is 509-703-565. You can go onto the website and request a consultation here. You can go onto the website and hit talk with Rob here and schedule a phone call with my Calendly. You can just call me on my cell phone and I will try to answer if I can. I try to be very responsive. So if you run into questions about this kind of stuff, please feel free to reach out. I hope this is a great resource for you. I really appreciate you watching. Blessings.